Hi, this is Tracy Makarenko, and I normally do an angel card reading when I do my newsletter up at the end or the beginning of the month, or in this case, kind of the middle of the month. But what I want to talk to you about today is about fate and destiny. So I have a workshop I'm going to be starting to teach next month that's called Fate and Destiny. And I think we really need to understand the difference between the two. So I'm going to take you on a guided visualization and then kind of talk about the differences after the fact. So if you'd like to, just close your eyes and relax. So letting your shoulders relax. If you're sitting, try and sink into the seat you're in. If you have the opportunity to lay down, you're more than welcome to do that as well. Relaxing your neck by maybe having a couple head rolls. Breathing in and breathing out, letting all that stale air out of your body. Big breath in and big breath out. I'm just trying to quiet your mind. So I want you to consider that you're going on a trip, a place you've never been before, and a place you don't know where you're going to. You're in an unfamiliar rental car. It's dark at night, and it's actually quite foggy out. You're not exactly sure what's going to happen when you arrive, and you aren't even sure how long it's going to take for you to get there. You have some directions, but they don't seem very complete, and it's difficult to drive and read the map as there's no GPS. There are very few street signs along the highway, and the ones that you do see don't really seem to correspond with the information on your map. You haven't seen really anywhere to stop and ask for directions, and you haven't really come across very many other vehicles. And there's really no place to pull off and ask for help. So you just keep moving ahead slowly, hoping for the best, and wondering how long it will take to get to where you're going, and what it will be like when you arrive there, and what everyone else will be doing when you get there. So I want you to keep your eyes closed, and I want you to think about how your body feels about that experience. How do you feel about not knowing exactly where you're going? How does that journey feel to you? Are you excited about it? Or do you have some other feelings around not knowing? And does any of these feelings feel familiar to you in this life you're living right now? So now I want you to shake off that energy. You can open your eyes, you can literally shake around a little bit. Maybe stand up, move around, cut cords just from that energy. And then I want you to relax again, whether you're sitting or laying down. Big breath in, big breath out, relaxing your shoulders and your arms. Maybe a couple of neck rolls just to loosen up. Feel yourself coming into whatever's underneath you, your chair or the ground. So now you're going on a journey to some place really fun. You're in your favorite type of vehicle with someone you just love being with. And it's a beautiful day. You know, it's your favorite temperature and it's your favorite sky. Everything's just perfect for you. And you know exactly how you're going to get to your destination. And you're so looking forward to this journey and arriving at your destination. You know when you're going to arrive. It's going to be fun, and they will be doing things. You'll be doing things that you love with people you love. So I want you to keep your eyes closed, and I want you to think about how this journey makes you feel. Going someplace that you know it's going to be a lot of fun with people you know are going to be supportive and loving of you. You know how you're getting there. You know when you're going to arrive. How do you feel when you imagine this journey? And what are the emotions you're noticing in your body? And how do you feel about your destination and the journey to get there? Now, I want you to ask yourself if this is how your life is, or if maybe it's a blend between the first part and the second part. So, this workshop I'm teaching about fate and destiny is really about these two different energies you felt today. You can open your eyes, you can cut your cords, or you can just sit and listen in the state you're in. I'm just going to read this. So, in modern usage, the terms fate and destiny are often interchanged, but there is a difference between the two of them. Fate is the preordained course of your life that will occur. It is something that we decide before we are born. We decide to learn things in this particular lifetime that may not be to our physical being's liking, perhaps because it deals with abusive parents or some sort of addiction. The damage we feel in our life is karmic. But this karma can be cleared and it can be healed. When we embrace the awakening to change, life can become easier, where we start taking responsibility for our life, and we start healing. And when we start doing that, we no longer are just being guided on blind faith. We are actually starting to decide to take charge of our life and make changes in our life. And those changes aren't going to fight us. You know, sometimes you keep doing something over and over again and nothing changes. And that's part of the karmic pattern that we have to deal with earlier on in our life. But it gets to a point where we get to decide what type of life we want after we start healing all of that. And to me, that's destiny. You may have a set of predetermined events within your life that you take an active course in shaping. So you get to a point where you have multiple forks in your road you get to decide on. So we all shape our own destiny by our thoughts we think and the beliefs we have. We gain a better understanding of the direction we're headed by the feelings we have when making different choices in our life. And so after we do the karmic healing and release all the damage that's been done to us, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually, we can get better in touch with our own feelings and thoughts and come into more of that centered place where we can now decide where we're going. And so some of us at this point just float through life because we know that space by the grocery store is going to be open when we get there with our car. But do you realize you made that goal happen? That is not just ordained because you want it there. It's there because you've decided whenever you go to the grocery store, you want that parking spot. That is something you decided to do. So when we have a clear set of goals in mind, it is much easier to sort through these goals and come into alignment with our soul purpose. So when I do coaching, we might have a lot of ideas about what you want to do, but it's about tweaking things to get to the place that make your eyes light up and your soul light up. And then we can make decisions around going in that direction. And we don't just do it for our career and for our relationships. We do it for our family life and money and for our fun and play and leisure time. We do it for like hobbies that give us that creative energy. We do it for our health. We can do it for so many more areas of our life. And when we set all of those areas up and set goals for all of them, we come into what we call a holistic life, something that's more whole. So when we have a clear set of goals in mind, it is much easier to sort through these goals and come into alignment with our soul purpose. The next part of the journey is about us finding our way back and connecting with our higher self. This is when life really starts to ebb and flow in unison and we experience a wide array of miracles. And now I'm not saying that we won't always have something karmic coming up for us, even when we move into this area of our life we call destiny. But we're doing it at a different level. So I've talked a lot about frequencies, and I think when we're sitting in fate, we're at a lower frequency. And as we move through fate and believe in faith and then move up into destiny and set our goals, we move up the ladder, and that's when we really start manifesting what we want in our life. And so the workshop I'm teaching is called Fate and Destiny. And it's about clearing out some of the old karmic stuff we don't need. You know, healing our body mentally, physically, emotionally, dealing with relationships and traumas that have happened. But we're also going to go through 8 different areas of our life where we get to set goals. And I know it's only 2 days and it's going to be intensive for sure, but we are going to really set up an amazing foundation for where you want to go in your life and what you want to conquer and accomplish and just find those feelings of trust in a very different way. Because as you experienced with that visualization, when you don't know where you're going, it's hard to get where you want to be because you don't know what the end result is going to be. But if you have a bit of an idea, an itinerary of where you're going, it's easier to get to the end result. Now, there might be different routes to get there, and that's okay. But if you have an idea of what you want to accomplish in the end, it just makes it that much easier for you to get there. So I have a bunch of workshops coming up. I'm going to be teaching all over the place: Yellowknife, Winnipeg, Edmonton, here in Okotoks. You can check my website for all those dates, www.tracymakarenko.com. And if you're interested in me coming to your community or city or village and being a teacher in your area and teaching this work, I'd love to do it. This is really another part of my soul purpose. And I look forward to sharing all this information with you on another level.